How are you going to help the ministry? I'm just going to tell dick jokes. That's what I'm going to. Dick jokes for Jesus. Dick.
Here at Beans.
Thanks for joining me here at Beans. That's how you drop it in. This is Dying on the Inside. My name is Josh Larsen. I got Rachel Haygood in the studio. Joining us today, Gene Deweber, nearly functional.
Yep.
In the house. I don't know why I went with in the house. That felt like a weird reference to go.
Yeah, I was doing that. In the house.
With the bald head, I don't know if I'm supposed to do that. Yeah. I don't think it's okay. Gene is a Portland comic, but he's also a podcaster, also a comic artist.
Yeah.
Is that how I say that? Is a comic strip artist?
Comic strip artist.
There we go.
Yeah.
I will say, I was looking at your comic strip, and I noticed that there are a lot of similarities in the character in the comic strip that there is maybe in you. Is that you pull from real life for the comic?
I pull from my personality, not so much like what actually occurs.
It's more like the thoughts of what you thought could happen.
If like something pops in my head and that's funny, I'm like, that could be a comic strip.
I did like that. I also liked as I scroll through the older comics, I noticed your character on there got less and less hair.
Yes,
as it went along.
that's a true to life thing.
I enjoyed that. Like I appreciated that. I was like, oh, this guy's getting older. You can tell he's losing his hair.
I even had one joke early on when I still had a little hair, where it's like my character actually shaves his hair off accidentally. He's just trying to trim himself, and this is actually based off a true story. When I was 19, back when I had a full head of thin hair. When I was 19, I tried to cut my hair, and I literally just did this. I looked like a friar, basically. Yeah. So just the back of my head, and then my sister had to help me trim it, and there was a military cut, and I was like, I don't like that, so I just shaved it all off. Yeah, it was. When
I was a kid, my dad had rules in the house that I could only shave my head in the summertime. I was not during the school year. I had to have the part over and the hair a certain length. But summertime beginning, I could shave it and then let it grow. And by school year, it'll be long enough for it to be appropriate. And then that resulted in me just rebelling like nobody's business. Yeah. To where, I'll be honest, I would have a mohawk right now if I could have a mohawk. There's a gap right here.
He's gonna do it reverse, man. Just really grow it out. So just go
it doesn't work. I tried. There's a bit here that kind of comes in thin and that gets a couple of little spikes, and then the back is luxurious and spiky. But the gap in the middle.
Well, Stephen Wright, he just let it grow from the side, but you can do that with just Mohawk style. You can do Liberty Spikes.
Like Liberty Spike style, the old man Liberty.
Like Larry David's Liberty Spikes.
In your stand-up, I know we were talking about comic, but now in your stand-up, you talk a lot about, it seems like life. It seems like big family, homeschool. I mean, that's what it seems. That's a stupid. I'm going to try that one again because that was fucking horrible. I don't normally just. So I'm gonna. This is why we get to edit things. This is amazing.
No, keep it all in. I like this.
I'm most likely going to keep it in there too because of that. It seems like you pull a lot of your comedy from real life, seeing that you use the topics of homeschool, big family. Is that seems accurate?
Yes, that's very accurate. And then the passive aggressive disdain for my family. So
what's it like now? What's it like then talking about a big family?
Yeah.
Out on stage to other people, because I don't know if you have to worry about if they hear about what you're saying or if you care about that, but you don't care, you just free will talk open. Good, you should be. That's
it's not completely inaccurate, but also at the same time they love me, and if they want to see me less, that's just a bonus.
Sure, a little added. Have you had any of your family come see you perform?
Early on. I have one brother that tries to go when I have something, but he's got a family and he's always busy. So,
yeah, there's always something.
Always. Has nothing to do with how I talk about him and everyone else on stage. Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, they came early on and they saw what you did, and then now they don't need to.
Yeah. Well, also they saw me when I was really bad. So, like, they're like, yeah, sure, you've gotten better. Sure. Yeah. I'm sure you have. Mm-hmm. I believe you.
I'm one of those where...
And they're slowly walking away. When
right. So, yeah, as the door closes.
Door closes. They also, like, throw a bunch of, like, moist towelettes at me for some reason. Clean yourself up.
I had one of my aunt and uncle come see me at Harvey's. Like I won some contest, got lucky enough to host at Harvey's, and I had them come show up, and they came on a Sunday, and on that Sunday I decided to do like a lot of raunchy material. And then they showed up.
Of course.
Right. In my head, okay, let's be honest. I didn't think about the Sunday part. I thought at the Saturday late show, this stuff killed. Let's do it again.
Did you end your set with Hell Satan?
I did not.
Great. That would have been great.
Oh, no. I ended my set with an awkward and walked off the stage.
Then you pull down your pants and you're like, I can't ruin this anymore. So.
Well, kill me. Bad enough.
Cancel me.
I'm in the green room thinking like I'm gonna retool it. Nope, can't do this stuff. You gotta go another way. And then the old veteran headliner was like, "Nah, kid, just do what you do." And I was like, "You know what? Yeah." And then I said masturbation in front of my aunt. And as soon as the word came out my mouth, I clicked and like almost made eye contact. We didn't because I avoided.
You should have,
but
made
it
eye
felt
contact.
like there was eye contact.
You should have been like.
And I bombed so horrible. It goes down as the worst bomb I've ever had. There was nothing else comparative to them walking away going, yeah, good. Oh, thanks for having us.
I think there's like a common thing though where a lot of family, even if they can acknowledge you're funny, they don't want to see it. They're like, I really liked what you were getting last, but like the power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you.
What got you started into doing stand up? What was the big I got to do this moment?
So for a long time, I've always liked making people laugh. That's that's the go-to for every comedian. I do on my podcast. I actually ask everyone, and they're like, "I like to make people laugh," and I'm like, "Okay." I kind of figured that you're on stage trying to okay, but. Oddly enough, so I was super religious when I started this. I'm not anymore. I'm like the exact opposite.
Wait, when you started comedy, you were super religious? Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
I was still pretty deep into whatever. Whatever you want to call that thing, where a bunch of people gather together and sing terrible songs that they were like, it's kind of poppy, I guess. So, funny enough, I was praying, and in my head, I was like, I just thought of the word comedian. I'm like, that's from God. That's got to be from God. Yeah, that makes sense. And it was really just my mind being like, I need to find a way to convince people at church that I'm going to do this. Because, like, the common thing, and this is the thing that is really irritating, is like, when you're going to church, you always have people like, how are you going to help the ministry? How are you going to help the ministry? I'm just going to tell dick jokes. That's what I'm going to dick jokes for Jesus. Dick jokes for Jesus. Yeah. Come on out, man. I'm pretty sure Jesus was hung. This is good for you guys, right?
We party late enough on Saturday, you can repent before bed on Sunday.
How do we not know that Jesus didn't like to take it up the rear? I mean, that's... Especially if, like, we do become ghosts, they could just watch this and laugh the entire time, and then, like, turn the lights off and on for a little while.
Get your ghost popcorn, just enjoy the show.
Occasionally just give someone, like, a astral back rub, and they're just, like, really confused.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would pick the people who seem the most confident that ghosts aren't real. Yeah. And those would be the people that I just go give wet willies to every once in a while. And just like, you got, hang on, man, I'll be right back. I gotta go mess with this dude real quick. He's like, he still says he doesn't believe, but every day at noon there's a...
Right, so anyways, Pablo Picasso Why haven't you ascended yet? Naked women.
Yeah, okay, we all have our hang-ups, I guess.
I get it, yeah. I just like this. I imagine because he was a pervert in life, he's a pervert in the afterlife. You know?
Oh, absolutely. That doesn't go away with death, you know?
If anything, you just can do it more. You know? Yeah, nobody knows.
Diabetes may go away with death, but not.
What is he like? He's like, where's he going to do? Cancel me? I'm already dead.
Right, yeah. It's like, they're never going to take my painting out of that museum. Like, it's staying. That with the pandemic, I'm not going to say ending because that seems really stupid, but the things being lifted, things getting going, you have a new rejuvenation for comedy than before the pandemic. I'm seeing you out a lot more. Mm-hmm. What do you feel has brought this rejuvenation on?
Boredom, mostly. Oh. There's that, and then I was dealing with a lot of mental illness stuff before the pandemic, and during this, I was able to deal with it. I'm on medication now.
There you go.
I stopped stalking people. The people stopped stalking me.
There you go. It's a win-win.
I was upset because I just like to know that someone's around at all times.
Right. It is nice to know there's somebody there watching over you. I'm like.
And you know what? I like to request the song that they're singing while they're just rubbing on my window right there. You sung "Loving You" three nights in a row. We need something new.
Come on.
Tell me, baby, I got back. I'm a white dude. I don't have no ass, but I just want to know that someone thinks I got back.
I saw you recently went out to, was it Spokane?
Not so long ago,
Tacoma?
Yeah.
You went to both. Okay, I did see that, right?
Yeah.
What's it like traveling out to a different city? I know that they're not that different than us, and it's not. But it is, a good, Spokane's 6-hour drive.
Yeah, I would say they're more open to whatever, because Portland people it's everyone in Portland has that weird, both passive aggressive, and they don't know if the person next to them is going to be upset, so they're upset for them. You know?
Sure. Yeah.
Over there, they're just we smoke meth, I don't fucking care. You know?
I've done a show in Spokane, and one of the things that Rachel and I talked about afterwards was I almost felt lucky that I didn't start comedy in Spokane, and not dissing on Spokane, but compared to Portland.
Yes.
As in the way of in Portland, because everybody's worried, are you going to offend the next person? I feel like I have to write a lot more and work a lot harder at the joke. You can still tell the same joke. Yes. You just need to work harder on it and make it better in the city, because you have to be a little more careful about how you word things.
Yes.
I did a lot of jokes out in Spokane that not that they were offensive, they were just things I wouldn't talk about in the city, that out there you can get away with talking about a little bit more, and the people love it. But it's nice to go out there and get to experience that a little bit. We're this is what people who just don't care what you're talking about but want to laugh is like.
Well, it's nice because they might not have the same level of quality over there. So there was I think it was Jerry Seinfeld was talking about when he had a show. He was talking about the limitations of television offered a better creativity, because when you have a TVMA or an R-rated movie, you can be a little more lazy, because you can just say fuck, over and over again. But when you have PG-13 or PG or what have you, you have more limitations, but you're also you have to offer a better level of quality with that. Yeah. So I get that. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I
always remember the Blair Witch Project. That movie terrified me. I saw it in the theater.
Weirdest movie I jerked off to.
Oh. Later, I'm going to ask you what scene, but not right now.
It was the end when they all fall down and the camera's there.
Right in the corner.
I really like disappointing audience. Just disappoint me like everyone else has in life. So.
I remember there was a critic bashing the movie, saying it was lazy writing. And at the time, I was dumb enough to believe it was because it's not written, sir. It's a real movie. What do you mean it's lazy writing? But he said it was lazy because every other word was fuck. It was the F word. And he was like, oh, oh, okay, I get what he means by that. But again, so you're wrong. These are just stupid people. They're just saying fuck over and over again. There were no writers in that movie, which is relatively true. There weren't writers. They just took them in the woods and scared the hell out of them.
My favorite part was when they were praying. They're like, fucking Jesus, bring down your fucking glory into my fucking life. Bless this motherfucking food. Thank you for my motherfucking family. And I hope I get laid tonight.
Running through the woods is fuck. It's like nobody really runs through the woods like that.
Like I wanted them to like make it into a musical number, like fuck.
We need the South Park guys to get on that. I can see that.
I can see that.
That's
you ever seen
get
Cannibal
on that
the musical?
Which one?
Cannibal the musical is like their original. Like it's about a bunch of like Mormon missionaries because they grew up Mormon, and there's like that end up trying to go to like from one area of the U.S. to another or something like that, and they get stuck on a mountain, and they have to eat each other at one point. But like, there's just like the cheesiest freaking like musical numbers. There's like,
I'm gonna have to look that up. That's
the sky is blue and all the leaves are green. I'm as happy as a baked potato, or it's like that.
Do you have a big on stage moment? Like if somebody says, I don't know, what's that one moment from on stage that you just really treasure?
Actually, it was right before the pandemic. I was at a showcase at, it was like a sports bar or something like that. And there was this one wedding party that just wouldn't shut up. So what I did, because I had a wireless microphone, is I stood up on this set of like 8 tables that they put together and just started I just interrupted them. I made them laugh. I used to do this bit where I would talk about Pentecostal churches, and then I would fall down on the ground and take a seizure, and then ask, and then be like, "Am I doing Jesus right?" Like, and I did that on the table, and it was like I could have died right there, but this is worth it just to like fuck with them. and then like I was like, okay, I think it's a good time to leave, and then I went back. And I was like, I give him 3 months. And that was how I ended my set. It was a lot of fun. And it was like me discovering I could just kind of do whatever I want. And just have fun. And I was able to make people laugh. My favorite moment was there was this one girl, after I walked up, I stood on the table. She just looked at me and didn't know what to do. So she grabbed a French fry and just like handed it to me. She like had like a deer in the headlights and like look at her. She's just like,
I don't know who you are, but I gotta feed you. So. I do love those. I like that you got to do that to a wedding group, specifically a wedding group, because they tend to be some of the biggest pain. Anybody that thinks a bachelorette party should go to a comedy show or bachelor party. I guess maybe bachelors would be cool if they know, but it has to be one of those where like they're going because they like this comic. They can't just say let's go see comedy. Those are weird situations. I think that's something that's kind of lost on a lot of people who don't go to bar comedy shows because it's not at a venue. It's not, you're not watching Burr. You're not seeing any other. I don't know why I just jumped straight to Burr. I could have built up I could have gone with like Bargatze or Okerson. Worked my way up the ladder. I didn't. But it's so different because you do get people who are there for your show. They paid money. And then there are people off to the side who are there because Tiffany's getting married.
And we went to a really shitty dive bar.
First of all, who planned this? You suck.
I felt so bad for the wedding party because like after I went up, there was a really shitty comic from Canada. And she would just go to every venue possible and just like burn as many bridges as possible. And she just offensive for the sake of offensive and like not well written. She went up after me because she's like, oh, he went up on the table. I'm going to go up on the next. She walked them. Like she just was on there and told all of her terrible jokes. And all of them were just like, what the fuck is happening? I think I saw one person light themselves on fire. Like it was so
that bad, huh? Canadians, It's my smooth segues. Don't worry, I'm good at these. just stop and go on to something else. You got your you have your own podcast.
I do.
Obsessive compulsive.
Nope.
Obsessive comic
Disorder. Yep.
I knew that was how I was remembering though, was the OCD.
Oh yeah, it's OCD. It's intentional.
Yep. Well done.
If you look at the logo, the OCD are actually larger letters. Yeah, it's intention.
Yep.
Yeah.
What? Quit making fun of me and tell me what's that podcast about.
So it's me and I another comedian. We read the same graphic novel. And then we talk about that for like 10 minutes out of the 2 hours. Usually, at the end, I bring it back. Like, I have a few questions I ask. I talk about comedy. We talk about, like their experiences with comic book culture, stuff like that. And what I really like about it is more often than not, when we talk about the comic, I get to find out about that person. Because, I talked to local comedian Benjamin Tier about a comic book called V for Vendetta, and he's been in the protests and stuff, so we got to talk a lot about anarchy and sort of stuff about that, and it's interesting.
That's the part I'm a big comic fan as well, and like part of it is how it ties into real life.
Exactly.
And maybe in ways where a lot of people won't see that or don't want to admit that maybe comic books could be culturally appropriate and some of the things that they talk about. You look at like the X-Men, how that was all about diversity. Mm-hmm. And then, V for Vendetta, working in with the protests that we have going on and the weird political way everything is.
And then I just recently recorded with an episode with Lydia Manning about Emma, and the entire time was just me asking her, why did she make me read this?
Well, yeah, they're not all winners.
I literally told her, I'm like, I don't have to like the comic we read. Like, that's...
That's fair.
By the time this will be released, it'll still be like 2 weeks before it comes out.
It'll be good.
Yeah. You can still look forward to that. Yeah.
What, since you are the man with the comic book podcast, what is your favorite, I guess, series or comic?
I don't know if I have like a single series, but I can narrow it down like 3. Mm-hmm. My first one is, one of them is Sandman by Neil Gaiman. It's hard. It's one of the most like cliche ones to like, because it's the original one that really like showed the comics could be more than just like tights and fights and all that stuff. It was like actually like, hey, we can do a comic book that's essentially literature. Mm-hmm. So I really like that one. Another one is actually one called The Unwritten, which is a little less known. It's essentially, imagine if like a Harry Potter character was actually based off of a person. So they were inspired by Christopher Robin because that was an actual person.
Oh, sure.
And so throughout, though, what he finds out is that like his father was dealing with some like interesting kind of magic, and like he starts like interacting with literature worlds. So like he runs into different characters. One of the funniest moments was, I think it was maybe Mary Queen of Scots starts like offering sexual favors for food because they're like stuck in this like in between world and stuff like that. It's really funny.
You said that was Unwritten?
It's called The Unwritten.
Okay.
Yeah, it ran for technically it's like 13 volumes or 12 volumes because there's the main series, and then they did a standalone. Well, not standalone. They did a graphic novel that explains more of the origins, but it's good to read it between like volume 9 and 10 because like it ruins it if you could. So yeah, it's one of those prequels that you don't want to read first.
Right.
And then my third is a graphic novel called Blankets. It is a autobiographical graphic novel about this guy who grew up in, I think it was Wisconsin or Michigan, one of those. And he grew up super religious like me. And it's sort of like his life and like when he's a teenager and just kind of a certain like winter that really impacted his life. And he goes about like his like childhood, he goes about like what he's gone through, and then sort of like where he went from being sort of Christian to like still having a spiritual element to himself and not really agreeing with the concept, and it was very relatable. There's like parts where he goes to winter camp. There's like all these different things that just like I was like, God damn it, I feel like I'm like, this is me. Right. So I like really resonated with it. I read it when I was back in 2011, which was like when I was still in the faith, but I was like starting to
teeter
away. And then it took another like 8 years for me to go away. But you know, I'm a slow learner.
I get that. I was all through high school. I went to church. I was big into helping out and all that, and lighting the candles and everything else.
Did you have a anatomically correct Mary Magdalene fleshlight?
Oh, nope. Yeah. Didn't have that one. Guess not. Didn't go as deep as you did into the faith. So.
I didn't. I just want to know if that exists. Like,
sadly, I'm pretty sure my pillow guy is going to be hawking one of those on his website soon. So be on the lookout. You have to be careful. You can't make fun of that guy too much. He'll sue you.
Who, Jesus?
No. My pillow guy. Jesus is going to get me on the end. I already know that. But.
He's like, this isn't the second coming. I just need to sue the fuck out of the person. He's really, this is libel.
Let's run through plugs real quick before we go on to the news stories. Okay. Where can people find you?
So you can find mostly on Instagram. I have like 3 different pages. I have Nearly Functional Comedy, which is just my main page for myself. Nearly Functional Comics, which is my comic strip, and then Obsessive Comic Disorder. You can go, if you want to actually find my podcast, you can go to anchor.fm/Gene Deweber.
Check me out on @ShutUpStupid13. That's on TikTok, Instagram, and I guess all the other things. YouTube, Dying on the Inside. We also are on Anchor, but you can find it anywhere you find podcasts: Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes. Dying on the Inside. Check those out.
I have one more plug. Go on Google and search the words Rule 34 Jesus Christ.
We like to try and do some news stuff, mainly because then it allows us to put this podcast in multiple categories than just interviews. But also, we always think there's some fun things that have happened in the world. This isn't quite a fun thing. This year is hilarious. I know I shouldn't have gone into the word fun thing, knowing I knew what the first one was. It wasn't like she shocked me.
In the picture, she is going like this. She's like, whoa!
She looks happy.
I got suspended.
But we pulled the Washington Post article.
I can do whatever I want.
About sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson, who gets suspended after a marijuana test, she ain't able to go to the Olympics now because she tested positive for weed.
And hepatitis C.
And, well, nope, not going to make that comment. Nope.
I'm kidding. Actually, no, she tested positive for loving the Olympics too much.
There we go, right.
When she does this, when she runs. So.
Hope. And it's messed up. There's parts of me that think that it sucks that she got suspended and that she doesn't get to go to the Olympics. She is the fastest lady in the world. Like, it's one of those where she's the guaranteed winner, or at least the one that everyone expected to win.
Yeah.
So that part sucks.
Absolutely.
But there's also that little athlete in me that says, like, well, they told you what the rules were before, right? And it's like, yeah. And she answered in the article. She says, like, I made a mistake. I knew what the rules were, and I did this. But a lot of people have started yelling that this is not okay.
Yeah. Facebook feeds are just like crazy right now.
Yeah, they're blowing up. And I mean, a lot of it is because they're saying that the Olympics are racist. That some of it is
she is racing right there.
Right, she is racing.
It's a terrible dad joke.
I don't know if sprinting is your thing, but what's your take on her getting pulled? Yeah, perfect. They're going to merge at some point.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm really, really excited for them to just come together. Just spin all night long. Merging.
Yeah, merging. You have any thoughts on the runner being suspended for
My
marijuana?
favorite and the funniest thing was they said it was a performance-enhancing drug, and we all know the weed is going to do the exact opposite more often. She's either going to be like, I need to rest for a second, give me some Doritos, or she's going to be like running, but also be like, am I running too fast?
Right.
Are these other people mad at me? Do I care that they're mad at me? I should call my mom.
It's more fun if they're next to me. Isn't it more fun if we're next to each other?
I should give this other person a hug.
Line.
I think I should give this other person a hug. Like, that person in the audience looks like they need a hug.
I do. Yeah, weed, the performance enhancing drug, is the same way that they would consider alcohol a performance. Like, it's not a performance enhancing drug at all.
Unless you're doing karaoke.
Right. That's the thing. Is like it will. Here's the other thing. This lady isn't just running right in front of with 6 other people.
Yeah.
She is running in front of 6 other people to be shown in front of millions of people.
Absolutely.
So if you got to take a shot before you hop up on the field, you should be okay. It should be okay for you to take like a rip before you hop up on the mound to take off. Or I don't know what, I'm using all sorts of references. I said field and mound all together, but
she was the source from cocaine. I mean, that's a performance enhancement.
I mean, that one's a little different.
That one's got But she gets distracted by like too many like wrinkles on someone else's shirt at that point. They're like, we need to fix this. We need to fix this.
Clean it up.
I think my whole perspective of it is that it's not a performance enhancing drug, like you said. It would be more debilitating.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have weed lungs now, and then you go and run and kill the times.
If she
it's
won,
incredible.
That would be way more like everybody else would feel so much more shitty about themselves.
Like, she's been smoking in her lungs and she beat me? What?
She should have just done shrooms. Like, that doesn't come up anything. So.
That's my one thing that I got frustrated with this article. Not article itself, but just the whole situation. Is everyone's in this uproar of how dare they should not be able to do this. And I get it. It's legal in Oregon where she smoked. She smoked in Eugene, Oregon. Yeah. It's legal there. But you're trying to play in the Olympics with like all these other countries that have all these other different rules and laws. And so if that's what they say...
We nuke the other countries.
Right. Well, I mean...
We just...
you can nuke them.
And the states.
You got to be careful. Like, they got to be far enough away from us so there's not... Right? Like, so we can't take out somebody close. That's the only...
I mean, sure. Yeah. We're inciting war on this podcast right now. This is the war on anti-drugs.
Right. I have hated on Facebook seeing how everyone says it's racist. And they're like, how could the Olympics be racist? And I was like, did y'all not see Cool Runnings? Have we not watched that? That was 92 that movie came out. Yeah. The whole movie's about the Olympics being racist. Like, we know they're racist. Yeah. Okay. Like, how is that a shock all of a sudden? Where they're like, I can't believe it. They're... We've done that. John Candy told us that a long time ago. I know we bring you on and, we know you, so we wanted to do as much sports as possible.
Oh, yeah. Real sports guy. Yeah.
But these are sports-related things that actually have nothing to do with sports. This one was the Tour de France is the big race. Everyone knows what the Tour de France is. And this dumb lady stood out on the course with a sign and took out a huge chunk of the racers with her sign.
So that just makes me happy.
And,
Stop trying, people!
It's pretty funny to watch the video, too, of just this lady, like, smiling, and then just chaos behind her. But...
I like to think that the Chariots of Fire was playing.
Well, you can find that on TikTok for sure. Once it happened, too, the Tour de France, flipped out. And they were like, no, we got to find this lady. We're going to sue her. She's going to jail. We're doing all this stuff. We can't have people interrupting our race. And then, they found her, and she's just this nice 30-something-year-old lady who, her sign says, go grandma, go grandpa. And she was just trying to be cute. And so they're like, all right, well, maybe we blew this out of proportion. We shouldn't. I guess we won't sue you. Yeah. Which is good. I don't think she should be sued. You got to prove a point. It just sucks that it's a super nice
she's
lady.
In prison.
Right, yeah. Well, There's a couple of racers that are not as nice as the two French people. They're like, no, you screwed up my year. This was going to pay for a good chunk of my life.
Yeah.
And your dumb son fucked it up.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely understand that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because when he first mentioned it to me, I was like, does everyone pause so they can get up and keep going if they didn't injure themselves too much?
Yeah.
But no, they just have to get up and keep going and lose that time.
I love that it was a pile up of bicycles. So I would really hope that like one of them started smoking and just blew up.
Everyone get away! This one's on fire!
But like the ones that walked away didn't look back because they're awesome. So.
Look, if this was done in America, that would have happened, but it's not. This is the Tour de France. They need a Tour de America.
Because we all know in America, we just put propane on all of our bicycles. And then we shoot each other. Boom, 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 boom. Because we got bazookas.
Just
the word
because.
bazooka. I love the word bazooka. Someone was telling me, like, they're like, usually the car RPGs. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. Bazooka.
I hate that. I feel like such a little kid that, to me, I hear bazooka and I think bubblegum.
Yep.
That's the first thing I jump to is bubblegum.
Too.
Like, it's a good comics. 5 seconds of bubblegum.
Well, not only that, but it's like it is like a piece of concrete that you have to chew into. Bazooka Joe. Stay in school, kids, and see your dentist because you're gonna need it now.
I always remember being excited to read the comic, but then disappointed I read the comic. It was never a good comic.
No, it really wasn't.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, if it was like a Beetle Bailey comic in there, I'd be much happier.
I'd be on board.
Yeah. I love that there's, like, in Beetle Bailey's, there's, like, a preface, or, like, a pre-whatever, like, Quagmire from Family Guy, because there's just a really perverted soldier in that sense. It's just really funny to me. Like, and they got away with a lot of that. Yeah.
I've never tied that together, but actually, my grandma used to have a Beetle Bailey comic that I used to read when I was over there all the time. So I'm actually, you said that, I was like, oh my God, yeah, that is a Quagmire, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Which really means that nothing on Family Guy is original.
No, yeah. Let's be honest, nothing on TV is original.
Unless I get on there, then I'm completely original, all right? Or else I'll sue you, and Jesus will be my lawyer.
My pillow guy will be my lawyer. Forget Jesus. I want that guy by my side.
It's a whole set of defense attorneys. So. You got Jesus, pillow guy, Buddha. For some reason, Ted Bundy. He's just like, I felt.
Like, he read up a lot while he was in there. Yeah, so you got to imagine he knows some things.
And in the worst case scenario, he just gets the jury and they need to get a new one. So.
Yeah, redo it. Speaking of things getting eaten, we're going to go. Look at that. I nailed a segue.
You know, I was reading this one, and I just thought it'd be really funny to defend the shark. But like, I mean, come on, the guy was asking for it. He's full of blood. The shark is like, ooh, you know, I usually wait till sun comes up, but Daddy can't wait today.
I bet it was the sunscreen. He's like, that smells like, is that coconut?
Smells a little bit like copper. That's good enough for me.
I literally just saw that it was the Red Sea.
Was it?
Oh, wow.
Somebody was on their period.
So this story is, since we're reading it, but shark leaps out of water and bites parasailer in a bizarre attack. And what this is there's two people doing the tandem parasailing, flying in, attached to a boat. They get lower into the water to dip their toes. I'm assuming it's hot. It's a sunny day. And then a shark jumps up and bites off the foot of one of the people. Absolutely insane. Yep. Rachel got mad at me a little bit on this one. Okay. Because if I had to choose, let's say I'm parasailing with a loved one, let's say me and her, we're parasailing together. Yeah. I would rather be the person who got their foot bit off by the shark than be the person who had to watch her get her foot bit off. Yeah. Because I can never complain about our vacation now the way I want to complain about it. Right? Because if I say, you know what, that vacation sucked, she's going to limp over to me and say, oh, did it suck? And show, like, oh, did it suck for you? Right? And then imagine that you're there and you're tiptoeing and it's fun. Yeah. And then you see the shark and it bites the foot and you're screaming, you guys got to go. And you're trying to lift your legs up. Yeah. Because then I would have that moment in the air. Once they get you back going and getting away, I go, whew, that was close, huh? See, but then it wasn't close.
I actually do have a little bit of obsessive compulsive disorder. So, like, I would just be upset that they didn't bite the other foot because I'm uneven now. Right.
Will you dip me back down? Hold on.
Get the other foot! Why do you do this to me?
What a horrible vacation. The other part, too, is their way of getting away is just putting you up in the air. So now you are just dripping blood into the ocean as they follow you. How do you get down? They're going to land in the water and reel you in. You're giving the sharks a trail to follow. Yeah. Like that's
and then the shark is like, now that it's easy. He's like the nice guy from an 80s movie, He wants to chase.
I taught him a lesson. He'll remember me.
He's got like a comb back hair, like slick back hair, and he's like, we got him today. Yeah.
He swims back down to the
shark. You're showing those humans what's what, Starts flipping a coin.
I think I will say this is one thing that's just what people get for doing stupid things on vacation. That to me sounds horrible, just parasailing in general. But that's kind of what you get.
Yeah, that's what you get. I also hope that when someone is like, I don't know, doing just something really annoying, a shark just comes out of nowhere on land. It does the same thing.
Like a Suicide Squad just walking up back in.
Like my biggest pet peeve is when you try to park somewhere and someone's parked between two different spots in the parallel parking spot. I hope like right when they come out, a shark just comes out of the sewer and just bites their foot off.
That would be pretty amazing.
What did I do? And they look like,
it's like, hey, fair. Yeah, good call, shark. Okay.
But now I got no pedal.
With the TikToks is that there's a weird algorithm that goes through that sends a lot of stuff out there, and there are certain things about them that we enjoy. So we're going to show a few, and then we can talk about why we love them so much. But
okay.
I just want to let all y'all know out there, watch for wasps, because they'll sting you, and then you look like me. But it's hot today, so make sure you drink water. Have a good one.
I guess all upper lip.
Right, yeah. Yeah, the wasps did a number on him and got him good.
The wasp.
But I like that in his rough time of a day, he felt that he wanted to share this with all the other people.
Yeah.
And then also remind them, hey, it's hot outside. You should drink some water. And a lot of people like to remind people to drink water on TikTok. And I'm going to be honest with you, when it's hot outside, I don't care to remind people to drink water. That's not on the top of my list.
It's all my water, not your water.
Yeah, no, it's like, you're an adult. Drink your own water. Like,
someone passes out, I'm like, they didn't eat enough. Right.
I just heard my new favorite racial term, and I can't wait to use it. I was at work yesterday, and there was this mom and this boy. They were a black family. They were so nice. He was just like a 4 or 5. So we were waving, and we went, bye, as they left, and he went, bye, chicken nuggets. The mom was mortified. She was like, oh my God, don't say that. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And we're like, why? He got us chicken nuggets. That's fucking hilarious. So my coworker and I were sitting there and we're like, why was she so offended by that? Why was she so flabbergasted that he called us that? It took me all night. Like, it took me a good night's rest to realize what it meant. Like, this morning, I woke up at 6 a.m. like this. Oh, chicken nuggets, all white meat. I love it. I can't wait to call all of my white friends chicken nuggets.
Fucking chicken nugget.
I'm not sure I would have gotten that either. Like, if someone said that to me, I'm not for sure that I would fully jump to. But, that's a racial thing. Okay.
Yeah, chicken nugget. Well, I'm a lot more of a chicken nugget than you are, so.
I just really love white people being called something other than a cracker.
Right. Chicken nuggets, okay, that's a good one. I mean, it's better than cracker.
See, I like cracker because it goes well with everything, so.
It's true.
Yeah. But dude, chicken nuggets not?
You know, some pimento olives, you got.
And chicken nugget works against a vegetarian. As a vegetarian, I can eat a cracker. So.
I like to be called a digestive, actually.
Cindy, a tattoo woman.
What? But that was before I gave my life to Jesus. And now she's a ho no mo.
Oh, no more.
Oh, no more. And that's Brother Jed. And I'm going to shout out Brother Jed because I love his videos. They are all like that, where he doesn't quite get what he's doing. The other lady in the middle is telling him what to do on TikTok, but they're all like God related, but then like semi-offensive at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, no mo.
Yeah. Like, oh, this tattooed woman.
What you don't know is really his wife and him double team that hoe. For one last ride.
Well, I mean, for Jesus.
That atomically correct Jesus asshole with him, so.
They're still waiting on the other.
No waste.
He had a cheat. It was like, good enough for Jesus, Jesus not good enough for me. You know?
Alright, people, I'm not going to be on here much longer. I might have to get rid of TikTok because of my brother, because of my nephew. He just had a heart attack today, and he's about to die.
I like that she couldn't figure out if it was her brother or her nephew. It's probably the same guy. Looking at those teeth and her accent. That's definitely the same guy. She's like, my grandpa too. All the same guy.
How many of them are? The other part is since he's dying, she has to get rid of her TikTok.
Yes.
And it makes me wonder, well, why do you gotta get rid of your TikTok? Just because he's dying? Does he pay your cell phone bill?
He's like part of her act.
Ah, yeah. I did not deep dive on any other videos.
What if like she was actually like the entire thing? She just scares her nephew the entire thing. I'm gonna have to get rid of my TikTok. Gotta hide the evidence.
He had a heart attack because I jumped out in front of him too many times.
I just like to think that he had a strict diet of KFC.
Nothing but.
What the fuck?
Yep, that's me. Now you're probably wondering how I got in this situation. Well, it all started 2 days ago when I was just going on a little jog.
Your thoughts create your reality. But you already knew that. Yet, you still live a life that you dread.
Excuse me.
Those are some intense eyes.
Oh, yeah, they are.
That started like, what the fuck was that?
Right? Yeah.
You know what that sounded like? Have you watched Big Mouth?
Yeah.
You know the character, the girl that's voiced by Nick Kroll?
Oh, yeah.
It's like kind of chubby. Well, that's what it sounded like. You're probably wondering where I got here. I like how he started playing Teenage Wasteland by the door. Is it the Who? I think it's the Who.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Teenage Wasteland. Probably wonder where at work how I got here. Out here in the sand. It was weird because then he just started playing CSI New York for it.
It's a smooth transition.
Yeah, you know.
I do love that. On that is something. This weird thing that we now get in society is like seeing people make TikToks out in the wild. Like that is. Like I walk in the grocery store, I'm like, oh my god, I know what they're making a TikTok. I know that trend. Ha ha! Like you kind of want to mess it up, but you also don't because I don't want to be on their TikTok. I don't want them to put me on there, and that's
See,
why.
What I want to do is photobomb them, but like feed them crackers from the side. It's like, but like really force it in their mouth. No! It's gonna be like this.
You just start flicking their lip with it.
Like I just like. Nom 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 nom. I'm a cracker eating machine. And see, I just made their TikTok better.
See? Yeah, there's a whole lane for you on TikTok right now. You're missing out. You need to jump on.
Unsuspected cracker feeding.
Right.
Once again, I'm undigested.
We got one last TikTok.
I was in a town before called Langan Village, it was called. And basically there was a young lad and he looked awful similar to me. I thought I was fighting in a mirror, right? Come outside the nightclub, I was like, do I know you from somewhere? And he goes, do I know you? Do you know? And he had a Celtic jersey on, but he had the green and the yellow one, right? And I was about to throw a punch. And then he looked at me in the eyes and I go, he goes, am I your father? I said to him. And he goes to me, am I your son? And we just hugged it out. Turns out that no relation at all, and I just headbutted him and he got taken away. But you know, it goes to show you, people are out there, you could know them.
But it does goes to show you.
Turns out it was my grandfather. He's also my cousin. Catholicism.
I love that one. It took a long time to get to where
he was going.
Where he was going.
Yeah. You my father?
It was beautiful once he made it.
Yeah. And the thing I love, though, about that is over in the other countries, because whatever his accent was, I'm assuming that's somewhere else.
Sounded more. I think it was Irish.
Is that what I'm saying? Irish, Scottish, mix. Yeah.
They're the same people.
But you know what he didn't do? He didn't call the cops. Like, they handled their situation.
Yeah.
He headbutted the man. They went their separate ways.
They hugged it out first.
And they hugged it out.
Yeah.
They don't do that.
I like how
kind
they
of
hugged out
here.
before he headbutted him.
Well, because he thought he was his father at that point. Once you find out he's not, then feel free to headbutt.
Yeah, you just gotta headbutt anyone who's not my father.
Right.
It's how I greet people.
Right. So hence the hair like this makes it easier.
You know, if you do it something consistently, people don't think it's a problem. They just think it's how you do it.
They just know that's what he does.
Either that or they get together and show that they care. You know, by telling you all the things you're doing wrong, I'm like, you know what? There's a great constructive criticism that I'm going to ignore.
Thank you so much, Gene, for being here. We appreciate having you here at Beans in the studio for Dying on the Inside. Make sure to check us out. We'll see y'all in a week or two. Who knows how often we're going to put episodes out. We're trying. So deal with it. For Rachel, y'all be good.
Here at Beans.
Hey, thanks for watching Dying on the Inside. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the page, and follow us on social media at ShutUpStupid13.